Alright guys, well I'm back today with an overview of the Taurus 327 chambered in 327, but this also fires 32 Smith & Wesson Magnum and 32 Smith & Wesson Long, making it an incredibly versatile revolver with lighter recoil than a standard 38 Special and an extra round in the cylinder on average, making this a 6-shot 32 or 327 revolver. It's incredibly ergonomic, it's in a more compact design than larger frame revolvers, making this good for general purpose defensive carry. Now the 327 is going to be a little bit more unique and not necessarily as heard of, but I absolutely love 32 revolvers, so when I saw this available at Taurus, I specifically reached out to them and asked for one to evaluate, and these guys were nice enough to send it out. On top of that, I want to give a huge shout out to Target Sports USA for sponsoring the channel, as well as their Ammo Plus membership service. I signed up for their Ammo Plus membership service myself and actually purchased this ammo, the 32 Smith & Wesson Long, for this specific video. You get 8% off and free shipping with no order minimum, so when I only bought 2 boxes, it was still the savings and free shipping. Definitely check those guys out, but let's get back into the review of this revolver. Starting with, why would you want something like this? If you were looking at 38 Special revolvers, snub-nose revolvers like this for some defensive purpose, you may notice that a lot of them in this size constraint are going to be about 5 shots. On top of that, a lot of them have pretty stiff recoil when they're in super lightweight frames. Now, this is an all-steel frame gun, so it's got a little bit more weight, but when you load it up with 32 Smith & Wesson Long, it's incredibly enjoyable to shoot with very minimum recoil. It's a great balance between getting that extra round and more minimum recoil, or loading it up to the 327 to really pack a punch. Again, giving you that versatility that sometimes you just can't get with a 38 Special. Let's talk about the gun itself now that we've talked a little bit about why you may want one. The grips on this guy are the traditional Taurus rubberized grips. They're ergonomic, 2-finger grips. You're going to have that pinky sort of hanging off, but what they've done is created this third notch right here that allows you to kind of wrap your pinky semi around the bottom of the grip, and it's actually done incredibly nice. It also gives you a spot to kind of wrap your hand around. The cylinder release lever has a very nice scoop cut out of it with some good texturing, allowing you to drop out that cylinder. And this one kicks out the shells very nicely every time, even after you've run it for a while. It still does a good job with that. The cylinder lockup is pretty darn good. How I test that is cock the hammer, pull the trigger, and man, that lockup is rock solid, and the timing is good on this revolver, although this is just an overview and it hasn't been through long-term testing yet. It has had a lot of rounds through it, but right at about 150 total, so we will continue to update as we go on with this review for long-term and longevity. Now, the hammer itself is a truncated hammer, which is nice. It allows you to cock it and put it in single action mode. It's got some good texturing that matches the texturing on that cylinder release. The sights themselves are fairly decent. You've got the groove in the back with that serrated front sight for anti-glare, and this thing is a little tack driver down at the range. At personal defense distances, I was stacking them on top of each other, no issues with accuracy. The trigger on this guy is going to be a little bit stiff in double action, but it smooths up over time, and overall it's a fairly decent trigger. The single action on this is incredibly nice. Very crisp break, not ultra lightweight, but very light when it comes to target shooting and precision shooting. In a defensive scenario, if you were to pop off 3 rounds and had a quick second to take your time and cock the hammer, you can get some precise shots off after that. The build quality is pretty decent. Now, you are going to get more refined revolvers out there on the market, but that's not what Taurus is going for. It's not trying to be a top-tier premium revolver. It's trying to be a good, solid revolver with great reliability, good performance at an affordable price, and that's what Taurus does. Some of its competitors chambered in the same round or 32 Smith & Wesson Long are twice the price of this revolver, and you honestly get a lot with this revolver at the price that they're selling for, and I am a huge fan of this setup. Again, this is just the first shots and overview video. It's working out well. Subscribe to the channel for continued updates on the 327. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Would you carry a revolver like this? What do you think you would use this for? And have you considered the 327 revolver or carrying a 32 Smith & Wesson Magnum or Long in your collection. Thanks for watching, and thanks to Taurus for sending this out, and Target Sports USA for sponsoring the channel. Have a good one.